To an NBC News exclusive now, an update on how Trevor Reed is doing, the former Marine who was held in a Russian prison for nearly 3 years, who finally got out in April after a prisoner swap. I sat down with Trevor. We talked, because he tells me that since he's been back in the U.S. these last few months, his mission now, as he sees it, is to try to make sure that other detainees get home. He wants to use this platform to put pressure on the Biden administration. There are a couple of other Americans being held in Russia, as you know, Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan. Reed tells me if the president wanted to get them out quickly, he could. But when we spoke, he also wanted to make it really clear. He's grateful to this administration for getting him safely out of Russia. Now that he's home, he spent the last 3 months recovering both physically and mentally. For Trevor Reed, being back in Texas feels different, literally.
It's really hot here. I don't remember it being that hot before.
He's adjusting, getting stronger now that he's home after nearly 3 years detained in Russia. Sentenced to 9 years in prison for assaulting a police officer, charges Reed denies in a trial the U.S. called Theater of the Absurd. Reed, released earlier this year in a dramatic moment captured on camera, a prisoner swap on a tarmac in Turkey. When did it sink into you that you are home, you are free, and you are not going to have to go back?
I think after probably a few days there at the hospital, I realized that, okay, this is too long to be a dream. This must be real. And at that point, I guess you know that it's real, but you still have trouble believing that. I still have trouble believing that sometimes, to be honest with you.
Even now?
Yeah, even now.
A Marine veteran, Reed has a new mission these days to put public pressure on the U.S. government to get other detainees home, like Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan, both Americans considered by the Biden administration to be wrongfully detained by the Kremlin.
If it's possible for me to raise awareness about their case and get other people involved to push the government, then that's something that I feel that I need to do.
Do you feel called to that, Trevor?
Yeah, I think that's just a basic duty that all Americans have. But for me, it's more than that. Just because I know what they went through and how much they're suffering there.
Reed can understand it.
Every day that you're in there is a nightmare.
Like very few Americans can.
I wasn't cooperating with the Russians. I was resisting actively all of their laws and rules, and I didn't comply with what they wanted me to do, so I was being punished by put in solitary confinement, and conditions there are much worse than in a regular forced labor camp.
You thought they were trying to break you?
Yeah, they wanted to. They thought that if they, punished me long enough that I would give up, but that wasn't ever going to happen.
After Whelan's imprisonment, the Kremlin claimed Russians never use people as diplomatic pawns. The Kremlin does appear interested in a potential prisoner swap, freedom for Griner and perhaps Whelan in exchange for notorious Russian arms dealer Victor Bout. The State Department not commenting on a possible exchange.
There's 2 Americans who are sitting in there for nothing. And, if it takes letting go of an actual criminal who has already sat in American prison for, I think, almost 20 years, that seems like it's worth it to me.
Is the White House, is the president doing enough, in your view, to get them out?
I can't say 100% what the White House is or is not doing. That's obviously not public information, but in my opinion, the White House has the ability to get them out extremely fast, and they clearly have chosen not to do that. So no, in my opinion, they're not doing enough.
Does it frustrate you that, in your opinion, they're not doing more?
Yeah, that frustrates me that they're not doing more. The White House, has that position to go out and say, yeah, we're going to make this exchange. We're going to get these guys back for this guy. And, they have the ability to do that. So why they haven't already done that, is a little bit beyond me. I can't understand why you would wait that long to do that.
Reed made clear in our conversation he's thankful for what the president has done for him and says he's still waiting for a meeting with the White House.
I'm extremely grateful that the Biden administration and that President Biden made that decision to get me out. And I think that was the ethical decision, and I think that they did the right thing. But I think that, you know, he has the responsibility to continue doing the right thing.
If you could get a message to Brittany Griner, what would you tell her right now?
Yep, I would tell her to hang in there, that she has a huge base of support in the United States who is fighting for her.
A message Reed echoed in a letter to Paul Whelan, written soon after Reed was released.
You know, I'd tell him to keep up the fight and don't give up and, you know, Semper Fidelis.
What went through your mind when you found out and you realized you were getting released, you were getting sent home, but Paul was still back in Russia, detained?
Yeah, that was extremely difficult for me. I didn't find that out until I was already on the plane on the way home. But, you know, sorry. It's not a good feeling. You have a strong feeling of guilt there that, you know, you're leaving one of your brothers behind. So that was difficult, and I knew that as soon as I got out, I would do everything that I could to fight for Paul Whelan to be returned to the United States.
The White House tells NBC News Griner and Whelan have been top of mind for the president and the national security team, adding President Biden has been clear about the need to see every American who is wrongfully detained or held hostage abroad released. It's not just Whelan and Griner. An estimated 60-plus other Americans are detained in countries around the world. Some of their faces displayed on a new mural in Washington. Their families fighting for their freedom, like Reed. For him, this is not politics. It's personal.
This is not a partisan issue. This is something that involves all Americans.
What I hear you saying is this isn't about being a Democrat or a Republican, that's not what this is.
Right. This is about being an American.
My conversation there with Trevor Reed. The White House tonight telling NBC News that the president gets regular updates about the status of negotiations to secure the release of Griner, Whelan, and any other Americans wrongfully detained or held hostage in Russia and around the world. You know we will stay on top of this story and bring you any updates on that front.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.